Very good. So now everybody's muted. You can speak. Um, I want to just address a couple of minutes on something that I think is important right now before we start actually speaking about the learning part. And I want to speak about Ben Yehoyada that I found fascinating. Ben Yehoyada is a Ben Ish Chai. He writes something extremely important that's nogea to our time. I think people should take that seriously. The Ben Yehoyada in Bava Kama, Daf Samech, he brings down that whenever there's a devil, a certain pandemic in a city, it says in the Gemara, one should stay in the house. Now he brings a story over here, and I'll read it inside. He says like this. אומרים הרופאים מעשה בדרך משל ומליצה. He brings over here a parable. פעם אחת היה חולי החולרה בעיר אחת גדולה. There was a pandemic called cholera. Used to be something horrible, killed a lot of people. קודם שנתחזק החולי, before the pandemic started, מצא אדם אחד את המשחית הממונה על חולי החולרה. A person found the מלאך המוות. And he approached him. He said, okay, so now you're bringing such a חולי to the town, such a sickness to the town, אמור לי, כמה נפשות אתה רוצה לקח? How many people you want to take with you? How many people are you planning to kill? ואמר 5,000, I'm planning to take 5,000 people. סוף דבר מתו באותה העיר 15,000 באותו החולי. 15 people, 15,000 people died. 10,000 more than he said he will take. He said he'll take 5,000, he took 15,000. וימצא האיש ההוא לאותו המשחית. Afterwards, the same person found again. He saw the מלאך המוות. He asked him, why did you lie? למה שיקרת? שאמרת אתה שליח על מספר 5,000, לקחת 15,000. What is that? השיב לו, לא שיקרתי. He told him, I didn't lie. What I did was exactly what I had permission to take. כי לא לקחתי בחרבי על ידי אלא רק 5,000. All I was able to take are 5,000 people, and that's what I took. I wasn't able to take more and I couldn't take more. אותם 10 מתו מחמת רוב הפחד והבעתה שהיה להם בעבור החולי הזה בעיר. The extra 10,000 that people that died were actually people that died from fear, and they died by themselves. And that's what the Ben Yehoyada brings down. עד כאן משל הוא בדרך מליצה להודיע שיש נספה בלא משפט מחמת פחד והבעתה. Which means there are people that it's nigzar on them that this pandemic, this virus will take them, but nobody extra, nobody more than that. And there's many people that will be affected as an after effect or side effect of the virus, so to speak. You can call it side effect that is worse than the virus itself, and that is the fear. Those people could die and could be damaged, could be hurt in so many different levels, says the Ben Ish Chai, להודיע שיש נספה בלא משפט מחמת פחד והבעתה. Just because they were so scared, just because they were so frightened. לכן טוב לברוח. What's the solution? What's the remedy? Today, every speaker already speaks about why things are coming and what Hashem wants. Every speaker already knows what Gdolei Ador maybe know. Maybe there's one or two in a generation that knows. Gdolei Ador, today every speaker and every person already goes online and tells you exactly what's the reason that Hashem brings whatever He brings. And not only that, they give you the diagnostics of the spiritual reason why we have what we have, but they also give you a remedy. Each one has a remedy. You do this, you do that. That will solve the problem. That will solve the problem. Well, says the Ben Ish Chai, one thing you need to know before diagnostic, before remedy, he says that one needs to be very careful with that. לכן טוב לברוח למקום רחוק, כדי שלא ישמע באוזניו ולא יראה בעיניו החולי השולט בבני אדם, ויבוא לידי פחד והבעתה, ואז ילקה חס ושלום. Which means the Ben Ish Chai says that when you have a gezerah, one thing you want to do is stay away from listening and hearing about it constantly, or even at all. And therefore, says the Ben Ish Chai, that's what the Gemara says, you should run away from the city. Why should you run away from the city? Don't be involved with hearing about it, listening to it, involved about reading about it. Today, we are sick, not with the virus, but rather with the side effect of the virus. If there was pandemic in 1918, and it was also a terrible one 600 years ago that killed so many people, Back then, they didn't have what we have today. Every second, somebody else sends a message which are normally false. And the news media is bombarding us with all kind of things that are frightening. You read always, it's always a headline, this person died, this much people got infected, these people will die, there's no remedy, there's no hope, there's no this. Always you find, if you want to know everything depressing, just open up even Jewish news. Don't get me wrong, Jewish news are excellent in this, much better than the non-Jewish news. They give you no hope. You only see black, how terrible it is. Boropak is terrible, and Kronites is terrible, and Williamsburg is terrible, and people are getting infected, and you can get away with it. This person died, and that person died. Now you need to know, Chazal said in Psachim Daf Gimel Amud Bet, Motzi diba uksil. If you tell a person about somebody who died, that's called Motzi diba hu ksil. That's Halacha in Shulchan Aruch, that's a Gemara in Psachim. Which means you can't constantly talk about it. That's the message. The message is, why not? You're getting yourself feared. You're spreading fear. You're spreading panic. You're causing a corona stress, which is much worse than the pandemic itself, than the virus itself. It's much worse. What happens because of that is that people will be broken up after this thing is over. First of all, you lock people up in a house, and which is hard by itself. It's like going to jail. You have almost no ability to come out. People don't come out. They're scared to come out. Secondly, you put them together with extra people that you have to manage with. It's hard by itself. Being together all day with your family, with your children, with your spouse, whatever it is, each person has his own challenges. So putting them all that, now on top of that, you put the fear factor, and you constantly, daily news, terrible news about this person dying, this person sick, this person is getting ready to go away, and so on. And don't get me wrong, again, the Jewish websites are not any better. The fact that you have rabbis speaking about this day in and day out, every 2 minutes you have a new shiur from a rabbi, how terrible it is, people need to do teshuvah. You need to know that it's true that a person needs to do teshuvah, but you can't live with that all day, constantly live it over and over and over and over. It causes stress, it causes fear, it causes depression, it causes panic, and those things are worse than the virus itself. The virus itself gets a certain amount of people. Normally, one that is healthy and young is doesn't have what to worry about. But those that are young and healthy and they have children in a house and a spouse in a house, he could break his house just because he constantly speaks about it, constantly talks about it, constantly involved with it. That is something that would be terrible and very, very hard to fix afterwards. So what a person needs to do in order to avoid getting the side effects of the virus, which is again worse than the virus itself. First of all, don't be involved with the news all day. Find a time just to know, to be informed once a day, twice a day. It's not going to change. You're not going to miss anything if you didn't look at the news for half a day. Secondly, don't constantly pick on every speaker that becomes right now the person that tells you what's the right thing and what's the wrong thing, and again speak about the corona, and again and again and again and again. We don't want to hear about it anymore. It's not healthy for our soul. It's not healthy for our psychology. It's not healthy for us. Now, every day you have a different convention, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 a days of rabbis, which is very nice. Pick one every few days. Don't go to every convention. Every day you have. One day it's reading of the Ketoret. Another day it's the Selichot in for Sfaradim. Another day for Ashkenazim. Another day a convention that speaks about this. Another day Ta'anit. It's very good. But you have to remember, Ta'anit that was set by one rabbi doesn't mean that now you have to pick out all the other things that all the other rabbis said. One rabbi, pick yourself. If it's Chaim Kanievsky, whenever he says to do something, do that. Now you can't pick and choose. Every rabbi that comes every day and tells you something. You want to pick a different rabbi? You want to go with the Aguda? Whatever the Aguda says. Gendik, they say this week, you do something, do it. But then the next day you have a different rabbi from a different sect and a different admor and a different this. You can't constantly be involved with every 5 minutes somebody else. It's not healthy for us. It's going to kill us worse than the virus. And those that are healthy and not, the virus is not going to do to them anything, nothing. I'm telling you that this will damage them, damage their shlom bayit, damage their neshama. There'll be over here a trauma that's going to be long lasting. It's much worse. So person should don't be involved constantly with the WhatsApp news, which is mostly, if not all, fake news. Nothing that you get from the WhatsApp or any other apps, nothing there, all the remedies and all the other things that you see there, they're all nonsense. It's just funny to hear about them over and over again, different things every day. Some other genius tells you how to get healthy from the corona, whether it is through this or through that. Secondly, don't trust every news site. Not every news site, even Jewish, tell you the right things. There's a lot of things that are not correct, to say the least. Thirdly, a person should not be involved all day with the news, as we said, even if he goes to trusted website or trusted news, but to be involved in it all day, it's not healthy for you. Don't listen all day to shiurim about corona. We want to advance, learn Torah in that time. We could use that time. You know what people are asking today? Maybe they shouldn't clean for Pesach. There's a certain psak that was given by some rabbi that people shouldn't clean for Pesach. Now, if a person can't clean for Pesach, he has to do the minimum because he has to take care of the family or whatever it is. I can understand. There are mikar adin, what you could do and what you don't have to do. But this is an opportunity. You're staying home. You have your kids. People don't have they're not involved with the kids throughout the year. They don't have time for the kids. They come home from work, they don't have time to sit with their kids. They wake up in the morning, they're already out to shul and to work. On Shabbat, you're so tired after eating, you go to sleep. In the morning, you run to shul, come back, you eat, and you go to sleep again. You don't see the kids. Now it's opportunity. You sit down with the kids. You teach them things that you never taught them before. One of the things is let's clean together in a fun way. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it in a way that you're not going to be able to have an enjoyment time. And therefore, because of that, one needs to understand that that it's an important thing also to get people involved. Get people involved as well. It's not a bad thing to get the kids involved in the cleaning, to get the people involved in the cleaning. It's not only the mommy's job, also the father could be involved in that. Take a break sometimes. If you feel that it's too much for you, get out. Go to the backyard. Go in a car. Make a ride around. See a little bit. Go a little bit on the highway. Exercise. Very important to exercise. Exercising lets out all the negative things that we have in us, and it refreshes us. It's very, very important. And again, don't